Al, I just want to clarify something about, you mentioned short-term trading because
Mm-hmm.
institutions are creating income on a short-term basis, right? They are not buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling as fast as you can, like the movies used to do it, right? They have strategies where they are buying, they have entry points and they have targets, and they let the price or the computer do the work for them, and it
Right.
executes that for them themselves, right? So how can the average investor kind of piggyback off that and do the same type of investing?
Well, you use a strategy that really just finds what they're doing and follow what they're doing. It's really more simple than people think it is. People have a tendency to overcomplicate things. You'll look at maybe 5 or 6 different strategies and try to figure out which one is the right one. Well, without the right kind of education, first of all, that's very hard to do. But really, what's important is to identify just something that works for you. It may be one strategy, it may be 2, but just find something that works for you, and then don't overcomplicate things. And then just identify how the institutions are addressing the market. Know when they're going to trade, what they're going to trade, how they're going to trade it. And then you can do the same thing. One of the things that we do teach you, you had mentioned price charts before. A price chart tells a story, and it's very much like an X-ray that a radiologist would read. When you have an X-ray taken, they don't tell you to figure out what that X-ray says. They send it to someone who's been trained to read it. The same thing is true on a price chart. They tell a story. We teach you how to read that story, and everything you need to know is right there in that chart. Every fact that is important is right there if you know how to identify it, and then that helps you to identify basically what the institutions are doing, because they're telling us, they're showing us on those charts.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. It's telling a story. It's like reading a story like that. And the cool thing is I have a young child and I'm reading him books now, right? And the more and more times he hears that book, you know where I'm going with this. He's actually reading it to me before I even get to it. Even the next page, he knows what's coming up. But when you understand and you learn those skills, it becomes repetition. And it's like that muscle memory is what they call it.
But it's important to make sure you're repeating the right things, because you can repeat the wrong things, and that becomes behavior too.
You're correct. And that's why if he does say something wrong, I correct him. The next time he does it right. And that's how us as people learn. You learn by repetition. And you were talking about, you said it's actually pretty simple. Well, it's actually hard if you don't have the right education.
Correct.
And I'm glad you said that as well. You have to learn that technique. The concept is simple, but without the right education, it can be very hard. Al, hit him up with some words of wisdom.
Well, I'm going to steal a little bit from Charlie Munger. He's the vice chair of Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett's company. He said this: I always say I want to know where I would die so I can never go there. Now, if you knew that you were going to die in San Diego, hey, just don't go to San Diego. But in the financial markets, it's critical to know why and how investors make mistakes so you can avoid going there. Conversely, learn what the smart money is doing correctly and consistently so you can go there with them. Remember, the actions you take today, those actions, that's what's going to influence the course of the rest of your life.
Same time, same place next week. Until then, retire young, my friends.